Hello, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be proving the flat earth theory wrong. So, what I commonly hear is, and which I hear almost every single time the flat earth theory is brought up, is that the earth is just this flat disc, kind of like a frisbee, and there's an ice wall and there's a dome, something like that. Kind of like this dictionary, except one piece of paper. Instead of being like this, nice and round. I'm here to prove that wrong. If the earth was flat, say, they're just saying, oh yeah, the earth is flat, the government's lying to you, blah, blah, blah. Well, that doesn't quite make sense, as you'd just be able to fly off. I could get an airplane license and just fly off the earth and be in space. It doesn't quite make sense. Because I can get I can't because I'm too young, but, say if I was able to, if I wanted to, I can get a license to fly a plane and start from one area, say I mark that area with a certain flag or something, whatever, and I fly off, and if I'm trying to prove that the earth is round or flat. If the earth was flat, I'd be able to see that ice wall, and I'd be able to just fly off into space. Of course, I'd explode and I'd suffocate because of how gravity is and whatnot, but we'll get into that topic later. But I'm trying to prove that the earth is flat. It's round, or not flat, it's round. Because if I were to mark that area and go in a straight line, just a direct straight line, I would go around the earth and I'd come in that exact same spot. I would land in that exact same spot. And it has been done before. People have literally flown around the earth in 48 hours or something. I don't know. But, yeah. People have proved several times that the earth is round because they would fly back into the same area. Now the ice wall theory, the ice wall, you're flying around it. No, I'm not. Because because if the earth was flat, like a piece of paper, like this dictionary, as you can see, I can see all the way across it. It doesn't just stop. That's where the horizon comes in. Now people may say, oh, well, you can't see a certain distance. I can look up into the night sky and prove that wrong. Because I can look anywhere on the earth. I can see stars, right? Well, those stars are light years away. Farther than our sun is to the earth. I can see stars, real stars, from 40 billion light years away. From all the way across the Milky Way, I can see a star. I can see the Milky Way itself. And I can see those stars are circular, just like our sun. Because the earth can't just be flat. Planets are theoretically formed by the mass, because of how big asteroids are. They have an incredible amount of mass, but they don't have enough mass to be circular. Now this is where I really prove you guys wrong. But I'm going to keep going on because I have a lot of good points. Asteroids, comets, meteorites, etc., they aren't circular because of how small they are, how low their mass is. Their mass isn't big enough to become circular. I'm not circular because I don't have a big enough mass compared to what I'm made out of. This rubber ball here, this is circular because of what it is made out of. Needs at least this much mass to become circular. Now, on the other hand, things like rocks, meteorites and asteroids are made out of, and comets, they, because they're made out of rocks and things like that. And rocks need a huge amount of mass in order to be, or at least a certain amount of mass to become circular. Theirs is extremely high compared to rubber in a ball. Or I think that's made out of rubber, I don't know. But, yeah. The Earth is so big, and it's made out of one thing. Well, magma too, but it begins with the crust and it goes on like that. It's really long to explain, but that's not my point. My point is that asteroids with lava and all the space stuff, the rocks, I don't know. But yeah, those combined need at least Pluto's mass, even though it's not a planet, but I mean, it's circular, so I can prove my point with Pluto. It's circular because of how much mass it is. It has to be kind of going on with the same thing, but yeah, my point is that if something's a certain amount of mass, it starts to form a circular type of sphere-ish shape. Because what flat earthers think is that the Earth is just round. Or what they're trying to prove wrong is just the Earth is round. Actually, the Earth isn't completely round. It's not like a rubber ball. It's not just completely round. It's actually sort of a disfigured kind of spherical shape, which you can look up videos about. It's hard for me to explain. But yeah, the Earth isn't exactly just circle. It's not a complete circle. It's actually sort of disfigured kind of a sphere. That's where the misunderstanding comes in. And now the dome theory, that doesn't make any sense because, one, I can see through the dome. And two, there was live television broadcasts, and people can actually go to see rocket ships go into space past that apparent dome. And the International Space Station is right on the border of that apparent dome, which we apparently can't escape, which we have actually several times, and we still are doing today. The Hubble telescope, those satellites that they shoot into space. How do you think they got the pictures of like Saturn and Jupiter, all those other planets? I mean, what makes those planets different from Earth? They're made out of literally, Saturn and Jupiter are made of mostly gas. But that was because of how solar systems form. It starts out as like a gaseous material. That's why you see the Milky Way it's like brownish type of color, kind of brownish tan, because there's gas. There's gaseous material that solar systems form out of. That's why Saturn and Jupiter are so large, but our sun is so large as well. It was sort of a coincidence, actually. There's videos on that as well. But yeah. And people think that if the Earth was round, that people in like Australia and Antarctica, it would just fall off. Did you go to school? I'm not even being mean. Like, I'm serious. Did you go to school? Did you pay attention? If you paid attention in like first grade, you would know that there's a thing called gravity. We all have it. I have an amount of gravity. My door here has an amount of gravity. My closet has an amount of gravity. My house has an amount of gravity. But it's so incredibly small that it does not compare to Earth's. Earth is huge. Huge. In comparison to us, at least. There are stars out there that we're like an atom compared to. But that's kind of my point, actually. But the Earth, compared to us, is so large, and its mass is so great compared to our mass. Because our mass is smaller than the Earth's mass, and that means the Earth has more gravity than me and you, and everything else around us, that it pulls us down. It's just how it works. You can't really explain that. It's just how it works. Just like things are made out of atoms. That's just how it works. That's just our universe for you. So, to all you idiots out there that didn't pay attention in first grade, you can't fall off of the earth if it was round because of how much mass it has, how large it is. Oh yeah, my final point actually, black holes. Obviously you believe in those most of the time, right? Well, how do you think they suck in? They suck in things and they expand them. How do you think that happens? Because of how much mass they have. They have so much mass, and they're so incredibly large that anything that comes into the horizon line of them is sucked in and is just stretched out for eternity. Or at least that's the theory. But yeah, we know they suck in. We know it's because of gravity and how incredibly large their mass is. I mean, even one that could fit in the palm of my hand has so much mass that it would suck me in with it. And for those of you wondering, well, why can't I see? I think I already explained this. Well, I don't think I finished it, but yeah. For those of you saying, well, the human eye can only see so far. That's actually not true because, like I just said, I can see stars from 40 billion light years away. And people underestimate how long a light year really is. It's like a mile compared to an atom. It's huge. But, yeah. The human eye can't see past a certain point, which we call the horizon, because of the Earth is flat. Because the Earth is round. Because it kind of dips at a point. That's why when you see a ship going across the ocean, at one point it's just going to go down and then you can't see it. Now you may be wondering, oh, well, I can get binoculars and then I can see it all of a sudden. Because light bends in a different way in a certain amount of glass than it does with the human eye. Again, that's just how it works. So yeah, to all you dummies out there who didn't pay attention in first grade, the Earth can't be flat because A, you'd be able to just fly off of it. B, you can't fall off because of its mass. It pulls you in towards the core. And C, because it's just how it works. So yeah, to all you dummies out there, I just proved all of you wrong. Ha!